I suddenly remembered my Charlemagne. Let my armies be the rocks and the trees and the birds in the sky.
Hi all, Hipper here. Today it's Charlemagne's turn to try out a 6-time rudder build. And of course we have both rudder upgrades on the ship here. So we can hit the rudder at 3.1 seconds now. And I have high expectations for this ship here because with this Rue build here, that is a super agile build, with Azure Lane Baltimore and Takao, and like you saw before, the rudder can reach 3.1 seconds. And really this is Charlemagne's last chance because this ship is just dreadful in my opinion, and it is for sale in the shop at the moment. So if you're really into punishing yourself, then you can buy it. Personally, I wouldn't buy it. I have learned my lesson, and I bought it back in the day when I thought it was going to be a little mini Martel at tier 6. And well, it is a mini Martel, but it's a mini Martel in every possible way. It doesn't have any of the things that makes Martel a good cruiser. So it's just, at tier 6, it's a mediocre cruiser. But as soon as you get up tiered to tier 7 and you face tier 7 battleships and especially tier 7 cruisers, Charlemagne is just way out of its depth. It's not competitive pretty much at all. So even here I have the fastest rudder build possible, and it's decent. It's a decent agile cruiser, but it just doesn't have the armor to take the fight to battleships. Even tier 6 battleships, it struggles. And then when you face tier 7 battleships like Kansas and Charlemagne and stuff like that, I mean, you get absolutely pummeled in this ship here. And it's not just battleships. It's even worse if you face tier 7 cruisers. When I see a Martel myself and I'm in a tier 7 cruiser like Hipper or something like that, I immediately think, oh, excellent, easy kill. And that's exactly what it is. Charlemagne is just a very, very easy kill if you're in a tier 7 cruiser. And especially one of the better AP ones. You can one-shot it easily. It's just really bad. And as a very, very basic minimum, it needs a heal. But it really also needs a faster reload and some other whatever they can come up with, pretty much. So like I said, at tier 6 it's an average cruiser, nothing special at all, and there are much better picks. But as soon as you face tier 7 cruisers or battleships, you have a massive problem in this ship here. Like, just imagine facing an Ochakov or a Cleveland in Charlemagne. I mean, they have double your reload, and it's just not a fair fight at all. And you see, the only reason I do well in this battle here is because I have this very, very nice and friendly destroyer to smoke me up, which allows me to actually get some damage in. Because without that, Charlemagne spends most of his time like a chased rabbit all over the map, and all the battleships immediately targeted because it is an easy kill, definitely. And it's no wonder that it is target number 1. So it's quite a frustrating ship, and I did have a few battles today trying to get a decent Charlemagne battle, and it's rare this ship here lasts to the end of the battle. And especially when you run into Aaron, where are you, Aaron, and his disciples in the division, then yeah, which happened to me earlier today. Luckily I wasn't in Charlemagne then. I was taking a break because I was too frustrated with the ship, so I took out the Paolo Emilio, and then found myself facing Aaron's division, as well as a triple Fletcher division on the same flank as me. So yeah, that went really well. So today has been a little bit of a frustrating day, and I hate having to do videos for Charlemagne because it's just such a bad ship. But I was a bit excited this time here to try out a full agile build again on it, to cut off another, I think, 0.4 second rudder, getting it down to 3.1 second, and it actually helps a lot, definitely. At least you're able to evade battleship salvos from a distance now, but still, it's not a very good ship. And like I said, it's for sale in the shop this week. Well, always, but you can get it on a special this week, where you get the beautiful Egyptian camo with it. And I don't know why anyone would spend a cent on that camo, because it is the ugliest, most disturbing, random, weird camo in the game. I don't understand it. Like, what does Charlemagne have to do with weird Egyptian dogs and pyramids and obelisks? I don't know, but apparently something. So, well, if you're into World War II cruisers and Egyptian pharaohs, well, then I guess that camo is perfect for you. So go ahead and spend 5,000 doubloons on it. I am not going to do that. I actually already have the camo, not by my own choice, but I do have it. And I do have a video where I play my ship in it. And again, that was a painful video to shoot. So anyway, enough complaining about Charlemagne. But it really is a subpar cruiser. And this thing needs a lot of buffing. I mean, all tier 7 cruisers have a hard time. Unless they get matched within a tier 6 and tier 5 battle, then they do okay. But as soon as you're in a tier 6 cruiser and you step up into a tier 6 or tier 7 spread, you are in deep trouble. A few of them do alright, like Fiji for example, and Belfast, they do fine in tier 7, but the rest, they really struggle. And it is primarily because the tier 7 cruisers have received so many buffs over the last 2 years, like reduced rudder, and they all got a heal, and once in a while they get a second or two cut off their reload and stuff like that. But nothing happens to the tier 6 cruisers, not even close to in the same regularity like the tier 7. So obviously that's why they keep falling behind and behind and behind. And as it is now, tier 6 cruisers are just so behind the tier 7 ones that it's almost becoming a problem. I mean, I don't play tier 6 cruisers at all, basically, because you're pretty much sure you're gonna get up tiered into tier 7. And I mean, what's the point then? You might as well play a tier 7 cruiser, because already tier 7 cruisers definitely don't have an easy time at tier 7. So why on earth would you find yourself at tier 7 in a tier 6 cruiser and handicap yourself even more? Yeah, I wouldn't. And again, there's few exceptions like Belfast and probably also Atlanta and Flint. But the vast majority of the tier 6 cruisers, they struggle when they get up tiered. So it looks like everyone's agreeing that we're going to make a push on the base now. So pretty much the only thing this ship does with any sort of, well, in any sort of useful way is to dodge shells now with this build here. It's not fantastic, but it's better than most tier 6 cruisers. So that's what I'm going to do. Like, the DD tried to smoke me up here, but I'm still spotted. So instead of sitting around here, I'm just going to go full power and use my rudder to get me out of this situation here. Because it's not looking too good right now. So I'm putting all my trust in the fact now that I'm going to try to dodge as many shells as I can. And then I'm hoping the two battleships behind me are able to take out a few of the enemies to allow me to actually survive. And this is like a play I use with like regularity actually. As you can see here, I'm doing my best to avoid these incoming shells here. I do catch some because I only have 3.1 second rudder, and just preparing for torps as well. So it's not as agile as I'd like, but it's still okay. It's not like I get pummeled immediately out here. Just gotta keep in mind there's a battleship over there on the right that I have to keep in mind. And then I'm just, like I said, hoping that the battleships will use this little intermission here where everybody's shooting at me to actually get in some really nice shots at the red ships. And they do. This Tennessee here disappears in a minute because I can't really take him on. I'm too busy with this Miyoko here. And someone nailed him there. So if Charlemagne had a heel, it would be a totally different ship, I think. And alternatively, it could also get a radar. That's probably not going to happen. So a heel is a little bit more realistic. So it's not a ship that I would recommend in any way. It's just it lacks in so many areas that yeah, I don't really understand why it's a premium, honestly, because it is just a worse Charlemagne tail at tier 7. So yeah, not much point going for this ship, guys. I know some people love it and swear by it, like a very, very few people. I think 2. I think I run into 2 people on Facebook who says that they like this ship and actually do well in it. And I mean, it's not like it's like you can't do well in this ship. Of course you can do, but you can just do much better in other cruisers. So there's really no incentive to pick this ship here. And like I said, if you absolutely want to play a French cruiser, why don't you play Charlemagne at tier 7 and give yourself that extra bit of an edge in case you get to be facing tier 7s. Like, you don't want to face tier 7s in Charlemagne, that is for certain. So personally, like I said earlier, I don't play tier 6 cruisers at the moment. When I don't feel like playing tier 7, I step down to tier 5 or even tier 4. At tier 5, Exeter is an excellent choice. Absolutely fantastic cruiser. And Yahagi at tier 4 is good. And the same as Königsberg at tier 4. Great cruisers. So there's no point taking out Charlemagne, really. And yeah, just defying physics here. Don't really sure what's going on there, but it's evident that I'm losing the pushing contest here with this Arizona or whatever it is. So we're down to 28 seconds here, and I don't have a sonar ready, so that's why I'm just reversing. I'm not really sure where that destroyer is, and I don't want to eat torps here in the last few seconds of the battle. So I'm just pointing the way where I think he is, and then hoping for him to just be spotted for a second. But he's too smart for that. But it doesn't matter now, the game is over. So that was Charlemagne, guys. And like I said, not a ship that I like a lot. And I don't think many people do. And it's definitely a candidate for a buff with a heel or faster speed or something, anything to make this ship better. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you out there.